So the property market is going to crash, is what a lot of people are saying right now. But I'm not entirely sure that's true. Let's get into it. So house prices have dropped for the first time in over a year, and interest rates are now up to 1.75%. What does it all mean? So in July 2022, we've seen the first fall in house prices. So Halifax has reported a 0.1% drop in the average price of a property in the UK. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we're starting to see a softening in the market. We're seeing mortgage approvals, they're decreasing, so the number of mortgages actually going through is declining, which is a sign, an onward sign that property prices are going to be cooling as well. So does a softening market mean that we're looming for a crash? Well, I'm not sure that it does. And let's look at why. So if we've got the Bank of England raising interest rates 1.75%, that's going to put a squeeze on people's household income. Now that in a few months' time is going to show people that maybe they can't afford the mortgage, but there's going to be a whole load of people on fixes, so it's not going to be an immediate effect. So you're going to see a period of time where people start to think about what they're going to do with their property, whether they're going to keep it, whether they're going to sell it, whether they're going to downsize, whether they're going to go into rented accommodation. There's so many options for people. But if you look historically, there's always been a lag between a rise in interest rates and the market. And historically speaking, it doesn't mean that those prices are going to drop. So if we look at the 18-year property cycle, which is something I talk about quite a bit, that is expected to see a crash in the property market in around 2025, 2026. So all the signs are pointing still towards that rather than anything in the short term. So in the short term, the property market I still think is very strong because we've got a supply and demand in favour of prices going up. So there are not enough properties being created and more people wanting them than we can get them out there quickly enough. So if more people start to think, well, prices are high right now, and I want to capitalise on all that growth that I've had over the last few years. And if everyone does it all at the same time, then we'll see a flood of properties going to the market, and actually the buyers will then have choice of what to buy. So the prices will soften and maybe come down a bit at that point. But I don't think that's going to happen all at once. We've also got inflation to think about. Inflation being really high. We've also got unemployment to think about. Unemployment is still really, really low. There's loads of job vacancies. So employers are having to pay more for these roles, which then means that prices of goods and services are going up because the cost of creating or delivering that service is going up as well. So it also means that people have got more money. So inflation is hitting those prices, but also inflation is meaning that wages are going up as well. Maybe not as high, but when inflation starts to settle and starts to come down, we should start to see things actually work out quite well. So a lot of this is caused by outside factors when it comes to the supply of gas and energy. So the war in Ukraine is still causing issues with supply and the price of gas going up. Although we have seen a bit of a drop in definitely at the pump with prices coming down a bit. I've definitely noticed a good 10 to 20p drop in the price of petrol, which is a positive thing, and that will have a knock-on effect with inflation. But there's also the cost of energy bills in your house, which are going to continue to go up. But we do have an element of control over that, over how much we use gas, how much we use electricity. So, but it's still going to be a big burden on people. So I think people are going to be watching and waiting to see what's going to happen. I don't think there's going to be any immediate change. People are going to watch and wait to see what happens to their mortgage. If they're on a fix, then it's not going to be a problem for them until they get to the end of their fix. We're also going to wait to see what happens with the energy price cap. What's that going to get to and how's that going to affect people? Because also people on fixed energy bills, so for the same reason, not everyone's going to feel it in the same way. I'm actually on a price fix myself for my own home. I have been for the last 18 months. I think I've still got a year to go. So I'm not going to see any price rises for my energy for a year. But when that happens, that could be a big jump. So when is a good time to buy a property? Well, it's still now. If the market is softening, you might be able to put in some more offers and offer more properties. But again, I'm still not seeing masses of properties going below asking. Although I am seeing property prices being reduced because I think they've been put on too high. So you've got agents trying their luck, then realising after a week or two that actually that is too high, then dropping it 10, 15, £20,000, and then they sell. So as long as you're buying to hold for the long term, whether that's for your own house or whether it's for a rental property, it's still a great time to buy, because give it 5-10 years, we're still going to see massive increase in those property prices over the long run. So I hope that video has been helpful to give you a bit of an insight into what's going on right now in the property market. If you like what you see, then please don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and I shall see you in the next video.